me a believer, don't you want me? Don't you want me? I need some mercy on my soul, come on. Give me what you got, oh, oh, oh. Give me what you got, oh, oh, oh. I said, roll up, yeah, come get your love. I don't care when we're dancing tonight, just as long as you're there in the break of the light. I said, roll up, yeah, come get your love. I don't care if I'm losing my way. I've been waiting for you as the night fades away. So roll up, roll up, roll up, roll up, roll up. Extra, touch and pull up, hand in hand for one last touch. Shake extra, touch and pull up, hand in hand for one last touch. Shake extra, touch and pull up, hand in hand for one last touch. Roll
Said tonight we ain't going out, so we invited everybody. The made, well, they're way too strong, but ain't nobody saying sorry. The speaker's so blown, no one knows what it is, but we keep it on repeat 'cause we don't want it to end. We got the rest of our lives for the rest of our lives, and the rest of tonight for whatever feels right. We're doing it our way, just acting our age. One day we'll look back just shaking our heads, but right now we're too fast to slow down just yet. We're doing it our way, just acting our age, just acting our age. There's people here that I just met, but we're acting like we go back. It's 3 a.m., but we ain't done yet, trying our best to make it last. Freedom running through us like an open.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. Tonight's matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's the Chargers going up against the Bengals. For the call, let's send you out to the broadcast booth, where we'll join our commentators, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Larry, it's the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Paul Brown Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. Tonight we move on to week 2 of the preseason, and we've got a good matchup here between the San Diego Chargers and the Cincinnati Bengals. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together.
Here we go.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Anytime a team goes on the road, there's always that little bit of fear that maybe they can be affected by the hometown crowd. But this is where game planning really came into play. They talked about it all week. Go in there, establish yourselves. Well, that run right there, that slows down the crowd and gives them a lot of confidence.
First down, Hackenberg. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Well, they tried to swing it on left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Hackenberg now. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. But there's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
You don't have to be a finished product to show some pretty good glimpses of what could be in this league, and we just saw an example of it on that nice run there. When I looked at him coming out of college, I saw a guy with raw, terrific ability. I couldn't wait to see how it was going to be harnessed and polished up in the NFL. In fact, some people thought he could play a little slot receiver as well as run the football. This guy has the ability to be a big-time player with more seasoning.
To throw, Hackenberg. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away. Throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carlos Dunlap in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback because he had no chance to block him.
3rd and long for Hackenberg. Trying to lay one up deep. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
That's a bold strike right there, taking it downfield and putting some air on it. But how about the coverage? Able to get his hands across the receiver and bat the ball down.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. That'll go down as just a 20-yard punt. And the Bengals take possession. Play clock winding down. They'll run for the first time with Hill. And he's brought down after a good gain. It goes as a pickup of 23. And that'll be good enough for a Cincinnati first. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. They stick on the ground on first down with Hill. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. And here are the starters. Charles, what are your thoughts on Jeremy Hill?
He provides a thump in this offense. A great runner who goes inside and establishes a tone for his team.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Second down, Dalton. Brought in here by Tyler Eifert. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They go play action here on first down. Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Eifert, the man in motion. Dalton throwing on 2nd down. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll make it 3rd down. Time quickly to look at the Chargers defense.
Corey Legion is rapidly making a name for himself as a defensive tackle. Knows how to penetrate upfield and disrupt plays in the backfield.
Third down, a shot here for Dalton. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw on that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
And his kick is good. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. And the first 3 points of the night belong to our home team as they get the field goal on the game's initial drive.
A good, solid drive. It didn't wind up in the end zone, but that's okay. You've got something positive on the board, and you've got the early lead.
Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover, and wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
A first down throw for Hackenberg. Caught left side, it's Beckham. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They'll send Beckham alone to the left side. Hackenberg on first down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
You know the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Love the run right there, and when you analyzed him coming out of college, when you tried to put a grade on him, you saw the flashes while he was in school, but you didn't see the full production. You didn't see the finished product. He's a little bit raw, but you can see why people liked him. Those types of runs make you think there's plenty more there, and we'll see if that continues for him.
On 1st and 10, Hackenberg, and he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he's going to go out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Back now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Chargers here with a football. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Now it's the backup, Rivers. This will be caught at about the 3. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Jerick McKinnon, 29 yards. And the Chargers have taken the lead. Josh Lambo now for the point after. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
Now the backup, A.J. McCarron. Complete. Richardson has it. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They try the corner route there, Charles, and it works to perfection.
Boy, that's hard on the defensive back because if you get any faker move to the inside, you have to respect it, and then the receiver breaks back to the sideline.
Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Now McCarron throwing on 2nd. And Martin's got it complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Simple slant route and part of a really nice hard throw by the quarterback.
Nice timing between the quarterback and the receiver. They were perfectly in sync, and he put it right on him on the inside route.
3rd down and 3. McCarron going to try and throw on 3rd down. He's got his man, Boyd. 15 yards through the air on a first. first down. Fresh set of downs here. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, 90. Blue, over. All right, here we go.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
McCarron to throw on second down. And the grab by Croft. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
They'll come out in the pistol.
Here we go now.
They come up in an offset eye. They go play action here on first down. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver, 29 yards. And the Bengals are going to jump back in front. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now San Diego getting set to go. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
And to give this time to the tailback. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
First down, Hackenberg. Caught left side, it's Beckham. And he's brought down. 15 yards through the air and a first down. So the offense has it first and 10. Hackenberg on first down. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it's a second down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
So second and medium, 2nd and 5 now. And he'll give it here to his running back. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. And they'll go bootleg with Hackenberg. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not.
And he's in for a Charger touchdown. A great effort there. A 10-yard touchdown run. And the Chargers have once again taken the lead. And that moment we just saw, always so special for any rookie. The first touchdown of his career.
And there's nothing like anticipation, is there? You know he's been dreaming about it, thinking about it. It's been a part of every bit of his being. And finally, it gets done. He's got to feel great right now.
Now after the touchdown, Drew Kaiser to boot it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengals getting set to go. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
On first down, McCarron. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what 2nd down has in store.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
In motion goes the tight end. McCarron again here on 2nd and 10. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
Let's see if they dial it up this drive. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. So oftentimes you see defensive holding. Here it's offensive holding for the flag.
For me, that was an example of why offensive linemen might want rearview mirrors at times, because you have your assignments to block, but if you can see what's going on in the backfield and maybe the guy carrying the ball is headed in another direction, it might change what you do up front. But if they can't see that, and he's not in sync with what they're doing up front, well, this is when you end up with plays like this. A bad one for the offense, a really good one for the defense.
Surveying the field. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Hunter Henry. And now it's 2nd down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
He's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Shift together here from the D-line. Second down, Hackenberg to the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. 7 yards on the play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
As if he didn't have enough to think about on that route, the comeback route, coming back to the football and catching it, decided to make sure he toe-tapped and kept himself in bounds.
And that was spectacular, but on the comeback route, maybe a little easier to deal with the sideline since you've got better vision of it?
I think that's a great point because you should know exactly where you're going and know how much space you have and make sure you get your feet down. But, yeah, coming back to the football, I like it. Good vision.
So here we go, a 3rd down after the 2nd down pass completion. Hackenberg now from the 50, finding time. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Here's Drew Kaiser now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these 2 teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
They come up in an offset eye.
All right, here we go.
They go back to the air here after the INT. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. So we have reached halftime. Intermission with the visiting Chargers on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando where Larry Ridley has our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They come out here in the eye. Time running out here on the play clock. McCarron. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Tyler Croft, the tight end, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd down.
I wouldn't be shocked at all right now if there's a look of surprise on the big fella's face because he had the route that he wanted, running the corner. And usually he's able to use his body and catch the football. But a really nice play by the defenders, able to knock it away.
The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. To throw, McCarron. And he fires This one, but incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Oh, it's a wobbler here. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt. Certainly not what he wanted. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Down the numbers. There he goes. And all the way in. Touchdown, San Diego. A big play there. Ready for the regular season with his second touchdown of the game. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead. It's good, and it's 21-10. Now after the touchdown, Drew Kaiser to boot it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A.J. McCarron looking to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll make this a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. And the play clock's running down. McCarron to throw on second down. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
So a second down incompletion now brings up third down.
Set, Leopard! Let's go, baby. Watch it now, Barney! Barney! I want to hear you. All right, now, Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now here's McCarron on third. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Corey Legion able to get him down for a loss of 11 on the play. And it'll be fourth down. Here's Brian Anger now, standing just outside his own goal line. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Pretty woeful there. Just 23 yards on the punt. And the Chargers will be set up pretty well as they take over in great field position. So out come the Chargers. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, That's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. Now a handoff as they run left side. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Officially, no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
And there's a nice stop for the defense. They've had a tough time containing this guy all game long, but maybe they can build a little bit off of that play, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum. Yeah, every now and then you can actually tackle that guy.
Well, a good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8.
All right, here we go. 3-19. Gun. No. Check. Patriot.
On 3rd down, Hackenberg. And Hill with it over the middle. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. So he makes the grab and the chains move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line giving them time to complete that first down pass.
All right, now, look at this. Over. All right, here we go. Watch it now, Barney. Gun. Detroit.
On 1st and 10, Hackenberg. It's Hill, complete. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone. And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
they'll send Beckham alone to the left side. Now Hackenberg. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver from 3 yards out. And the Chargers are going to add on to their lead. Lambeau on for the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. Now after the touchdown, Drew Kaiser to boot it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Here we go.
On 1st and 10, here's A.J. McCarron. And the grab by Croft. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage.
I don't know about you, partner, but on 2nd and inches, a lot of the times I'm leery about the offensive guys thinking about taking a shot downtown. Instead, they just hand it to the big man and let him rumble forward for a first down.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. No gain on the play there. Second down.
While there's no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They come up in an offset eye. On second down, here's McCarron. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion.
Detroit! Detroit! Leopard!
Play clock winding down. A play fake to Hill. McCarron nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to fourth down. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. Now Benjamin. So a change of possession here on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And now San Diego getting set to go. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
A first down throw for Hackenberg. That's caught by his tight end, Uzama. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do. And it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Second down, Hackenberg. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's going to go out of bounds. He takes this one down shy of the 20.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Back now in Cincinnati. It's Charger football, and they've got the lead as well as we begin the fourth quarter. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Hackenberg now to throw on first. That is caught at the 7. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now they send a man in motion right. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. And in this situation with the lead, 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And he fights his way in for a Charger touchdown. A great play there. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead. And it's no good. No, he misses the extra point, and our score stays right where it is. Now after the touchdown, Drew Kaiser to boot it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Throwing on first. Here's McCarron. Looking deep downfield. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
10 yards still left on 2nd down. They come up in an offset eye.
Detroit!
And he motions the wide receiver. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's McCarron. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder, D. Milliner. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. They'll send Beckham alone to the left side.
No. Check. Patriot.
Following the interception, here's Hackenberg. Over the middle, it's complete. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Detroit!
On 2nd down, here's Hackenberg. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Leopard! Detroit! Watch him now, Barney!
Hackenberg on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. And look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
Let's go. 3-19. Detroit. Hurry up. Here we go. Gone.
Now they bring a receiver in motion right. Now they'll put a receiver in motion left. From the 4-yard line, it's 1st and goal now. And he's in across the chalk. Touchdown, San Diego. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Now after the touchdown, Drew Kaiser to boot it away. This is taken at the 3. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. Roughing the passer, that's shades of Charles Davis back in his playing days.
Oh, I sure wish it had been, Brandon. Back in my day, I didn't hit anyone hard enough to rough the passer. I had a number of teammates that handled that for me.
Let's go.
On 1st down, McCarron, and the grab by Croft. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
Here we go now.
Now McCarron throwing on 2nd. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
McCarron from the gun on 3rd. Hard throw, incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they run successful.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And this ball's going to be down now right at the 10-yard line. Good spot. The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. A 1st down throw for Hackenberg. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete.
3-19. No. Check. Patriot.
Throwing again, Hackenberg on 2nd and 10. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there for San Diego. 62 yards.
And they just hit another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
And they'll go bootleg with Hackenberg. He'll find his man on the comeback route. Complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards. To throw, Hackenberg. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll make it second and goal.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here comes the D swarming to the line. Now they send a man in motion right. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. And it'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
A gain of 3, second down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. They come up in an offset eye. McCarron to throw on second down. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. And now San Diego getting set to go. They take over with great field position. They've got the big lead. Most would say they should kneel it, but the key word there is should. You never know here.
You never know. That's the exact play that should happen. But some people like stats. You know, some people like to put more things up on the board, but kneel down is usually the right play here.
We'll see what they do in this situation. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22.
Yeah, let me pump out my chest a little bit. Even though I'm not rooting for either team, that was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And a cutback. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
This is taken at the 3. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10.
Tight right. Set. Green, 39.
McCarron again here on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29.
That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. He's got time in the pocket. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Now here's McCarron on 3rd. He's going to let it fly. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Kiss him goodbye, Travis Benjamin. And he takes it all the way, but there is a flag down, so hold the celebration. This one's coming back. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down.
Here we go now. Blue 90. We got 3. Blue 90. No. Check. Patriot. Quick. Leopard. Hey, check 24. Black 99 Philly. Here we go.
The 2nd down throw for Hackenberg. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. A Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they?